This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, starting at verse 41. Behold, a people shall come from the north, and a great nation, and many kings shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. They shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel, and will not show mercy. Their voice shall roar like the sea, and they shall ride upon horses, everyone put in array, like a man to the battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon. Shalom Yesha'Allah, peace Israel, call HALALYAM law, ALAHYANAWA ABANAWA, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA QADASH. I am the brother Qasai Gadol from the Camp province of Babylon, down here in Tampa, Florida. I would like to go on and give double honors to the head elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us his truth and rule well, being great examples to us younger brothers. And peace, blessing, love, hath the witness and all salutation to the hopeful elect, the house of David that is scattered abroad across the four winds of the earth, that are laboring in his truth with all sincerity. Shalom. All right, man. China is preparing for war. Is America prepared? China is preparing for war. Is America prepared, man? All right. And you see that, man. China is preparing for war. China is brewing up. China is not playing. And there's multiple articles that's been coming out talking about how China is getting closer and closer to the Taiwan, closer and closer to the border of U.S., man. And to be honest, I had a dream, all right? I had a testimony, a dream real quick. And it was about, it was roughly about almost a month ago where I was leaving work and one of the brothers was picking me up. And as we were headed home, all right, the brother had, we had noticed that there was a lot of troops, all right, and a lot of police officers on the streets. And it was because of the fact that, to make the story short, but it was because of the fact that China had invaded into Washington, D.C., and we were fighting them, man. You see? So now you see that China's preparing for war, and the brother, the head of my camp, the brother Ibar, Shalom, YAHAWASHI, the brother did a video on how kids in China were dismantling and mantling handguns, man, inside of classrooms, while over here they're trying to teach your kids the difference between a man and a woman, and saying that a man and a man can sleep together and a woman can sleep together, man. So you see the minds of these people. And then it showed also that this year alone, in 2023, that the Biden administration spent close to $88 billion on military assets and equipment over to Ukraine, man. You see? So he's willing to give his money away to let all his allies fight his battles, but ultimately he's not ready for war, man. Babylon is not ready for war, and that's why this place is going to be made desolate. And that's why the scriptures speak about in Revelations how it's going to take it's going to take 1 hour for Babylon to be destroyed, man. And that's because why? All of these other nations are sick and tired of the lies, the rape, the robbery, the deceit, all right, the bullying, the unrighteous decrees. Okay, they're tired of this shit. They're tired of the wickedness, the vexation that it puts on their people and in their own spirit, man. So let's bring back out that precept. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50 and verse 41. It says, "Behold, a people shall come from the north, and a great nation, and many kings shall be raised up from the coast of the earth," man. You see that? Many kings shall be raised up on the coast of the earth. And don't we see that now? We see all of these other nations getting rid of the U.S. dollar and going over to the side of Russia and China, all right, which they're going to start running it to make up that BRICS, man, which is British. What is that? I think it's British, Russia, India, China, and Saudi Arabia, man, to make up that, man. You see, which they are trying to make themselves the new world power, which ultimately that new world power is going to be translated from Esau unto Jacob, man, per se, second Esdras. You see? So bring that back. It said, behold, a people shall come from the north. And what is that people from the north? The Russians. Going back to Isaiah, the 13th chapter. All right, where it says, I will stir up the Medes against them. Okay, those modern day Medes are the Russians. And it says, and a great nation. And that great nation is China, man. The brother also did a video. I even did a video on it. How China had I think it was 1.2 million soldiers ready to fight. You see? And you have over here in Babylon, they're constantly putting on the news about the ABCBD community, man. You see? The Proud Boy community, man. So hell no, Babylon is not ready and prepared for war, man. Let's continue reading on. It says, they shall hold the bow and Salakia. They shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel and will not show mercy. Their voice shall roar like the sea, and they shall ride upon horses. Everyone put in array like a man to the battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon, man. And they shall hold the bow. Now, what does the scriptures talk about in Esdras as well? Talks about wake up the mighty man, let the weak say I am strong. And that's because why? Russia is with his smaller, all of these other smaller nations that didn't have nuclear weapons, between Russia and China and even the U.S. themselves. All right. They have given mainly, you know, all of Russia's allies. He has given these other nations, you know, the nuclear missiles, man. You see? So it says they shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel and will not show mercy, man. They're not going to show no mercy. And that's why in the same chapter it tells you, put yourself, the scriptures talk about put yourself in array against Babylon. And we're going to grab that right after this. All right, but it says, show no mercy. Their voice shall roar like the sea, and they shall ride upon horses. Everyone put in array like a man to the battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon. The king of Babylon have heard the report of them. The king of Babylon. So Biden has heard it. So now, what does it say? And his hands wax feeble. Right? He's getting antsy. He's getting scared now. Feeble mean what? Like faint-hearted. He's losing trust in his own self, man. He's now looking like, oh shit, I done fucked up, man. I should have never got into this war with Russia and Ukraine. Now I gotta fight China. You see, and I done made all these unrighteous decrees and laws, man. Nobody's gonna want to stand up and want to fight for this country. So now I'm gonna have to force people to go fight for this country, man. So if you don't have YAHAWASHI, that draft gonna be coming soon. And once it comes, hey man, you better pray that the Lord don't put the spirit on you to go into the war, man, because then you're gonna die in the war, man. You see? And the war will be fought with thermonuclear missiles, man. ICBM missiles. Intercontinental ballistic missiles. Missiles that are shot from one end of the earth to the other, man. All right? And it says, and his hands waxed feeble. Anguish took hold of him, and pains as of a woman in travail, man. You see? So the government over here is shaking, man. All right? Let's grab this right quick. Let's go up. Let's go to Jeremiah 50 and verse 14. Put yourself in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she have sinned against the Lord Yahawah. Right, man. So all of these other nations are about to get ready to put themselves in array against Babylon, America, all right? And spare no arrows, man. So that means every nuclear missile that they have, they're going to let them go out those silos, man. They're going to be pushing that button and letting go every single arrow that they have, man. All right. And then verse 15, it says, shout against her round about. She have given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. And that goes into her governments, man. All right. Her governments are falling. All right. And it says her walls are broken down. For it is the vengeance of the Lord, Yahawah, take vengeance upon her, as she have done, do unto her. So where Babylon, America, has went into all of these other nations and when it raped, robbed, murdered, and stole, and destroyed. All right, no war has ever been fought with thermonuclear missiles until the United States dropped one on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, man. You see, no nation has ever used thermonuclear missiles till America has. And then that's when all of these other nations started making them. And that's why the scripture says this. Oh, Salakia. All right. Isaiah 54:16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals, and the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his works. And I have created the waster to destroy, man. You see, and that smith goes into the scientists. So the Lord put the spirit on these scientists to be able to split the atom bombs to create nuclear missiles. I mean, to create the warheads that go inside of the nuclear missiles, man. You see, so the Lord created the smith that bloweth the coals, man. All right, and it says that bloweth the coals in the fire and bringeth forth an instrument. And what is that instrument? An instrument for a waster. What is the only instrument right now? The only artillery right now out amongst all these nations that could completely waste a whole country, and that is an ICBM missile, man. And it is prophesied in the book of Revelations, the 9th chapter, started roughly about the 15th verse, going on down to about the 18th verse, where it speaks about how 200,000 missiles, man. It said the number of the army of the horsemen. You see? And we're going to grab that. But let's grab this real quick. Let's go to Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14. The second woe was past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly, man. And those woes goes into these wars, man. All right, but ultimately woe goes into destruction and misery, man, and death. And that's exactly what's going to come from this World War III. Death, destruction, and misery. Death because of all of the people that's going to die from the thermonuclear missile. Destruction because of the blast that, you know, and the wave that comes from that missile. And misery because people are going to be losing family members, seeing family members die in front of them, getting blown the fuck up. Cousin Ray over there with his leg all the way by Auntie Tamika, and his shoulder over there by Grandma Ethel. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be nothing but great death, destruction, and misery that's going to come upon this place during the time of World War III, which ultimately the Lord, all right, the Lord is stirring up all of this, man. You see, the Lord is stirring up all this to do what? To ultimately bring them down to the Valley of Jehoshaphat, which Valley of Jehoshaphat goes into YAHAWASHI, which means the Lord's judgment. You see, to ultimately destroy them, man. He blessed Esau with the sword, and Esau is going to kill him own self with the sword, man. You see, so all of these other nations are about to get ready to turn themselves in a raid against Babylon and go crazy, man. You see, and go crazy. Now let's jump over. Let's go to Revelation 9, and let's start at verse 15. Matter of fact, we'll just get right to it. We'll start at verse 16. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them. You see, so John the Revelator, all right, he's revealing what he's seen, because revelation means to reveal. Okay, so John the Revelator is revealing what he's seen, and in the midst of this vision, he said the number of the army of the horsemen is 200,000, and I heard the number of them. So he heard the number of them. So that means he heard these nuclear missiles flying over him, man. He's seen them. And the only way he could describe them in his vision was as horses running through the sky, because that's how fast they were moving, man. You see? And that's how many were coming. And then it says, and thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire. So it's going to be death angels riding these missiles, man. You see, there's going to be full-blown death angels riding these missiles, making sure that these missiles do not break their ranks, because the Lord sends forth left-hand angels to do the bidding of him, man. So if the Lord created the smith that blow up the coals and the waster for the waster for destroyer, or destroyer for the waster, Salakia. All right, that means these missiles are not going to ever break their ranks, man. You see? So these left-hand angels that's going to be riding these missiles are going to be coming down to get ready to destroy these 2/3, man. And all of these people that do wicked, man. And ultimately destroy Esau and his kingdom. Bring it back. Revelation 9:17. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire and of jacket and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions. And out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone. Right, because when a thermonuclear missile, when it's about to explode, it explodes roughly from about 50 to 100 and so feet above ground, man. You see? And as it goes up and it comes back down through the atmosphere, it's going to be already on fire. So it's going to look like the face of a lion, man. You see, and that's why I said, and the heads of the horses were as heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone, man. Because of all of the fire that's going to come from after it comes from out of back into the atmosphere, man. Before it even touches the ground, it's already going to be on fire before it even explodes. Verse 18, by these three was the third part of men killed, by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouths. For their power is in their mouth and in their tails, for their tails were like unto serpents, and had heads with them. And had heads, and with them they do hurt, man. You see? Because the most important part of that thermonuclear missile is the delivery system, man. You see? So once that missile is shot out and it gets off, it's gone, man. And it's not going to break its rank. Now let's grab this precept right here, and we'll end it on this. And Lord willing, this video was edifying unto you. All right. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 29. Call together the archers against Babylon. So the archers are all of these other nations that are set with thermonuclear missiles, that are set with nuclear missiles. All ye that bend the bow, camp against it around about. Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all that she have done. Do unto her, for she have been proud against the Lord Yahawah, against the Holy One of Israel. You see? Recompense her, so reward her. So everything that she's done unto all of these other nations by taking their spoils, raping their women, all right, killing their men, okay, destroying their land just for themselves to gain spoils off of it. All these other nations are about to get ready to line themselves up and tear this place apart, man. You see? And that's why the scriptures talk about in 1 hour Babylon shall be destroyed, man. Let's grab this right quick. This is the book of Revelation chapter 18 and verse 10. Standing up, Salakia. Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, at last, that great city, Babylon, that mighty city, for 1 hour is thy judgment come, man. You see that? So only in 1 hour is going to take 60 is going to take to destroy Babylon the Great, man. Lord willing, this quick hit was edifying unto you. If it was edifying unto you, it'll be edifying unto the like. I'm going to close out and give all praises, all glory and honor to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, QADASH, and double honors to the head elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us his truth and rule well. Shalom, Abad, Babal, DTA, soon.